Hello,
I
hello.
always wait for you to say hi first. Hi, how's everything going? How's everyone doing?
How's your week been? It will be April
Yeah, when this
when this
episode
is
comes
posted.
out. Yeah.
Weird.
Do you do April Fool's Day?
No,
No.
we're
Have you ever?
no.
Oh, okay.
Normally because I forget,
Fair. Yeah.
Do you?
Like if I ever do something for April Fool's Day, it'll be something like a social media thing. But I
Yeah.
won't like play a prank on somebody that's like in my life. I feel like that's weird.
Yeah. I feel like it's always like people on Instagram being like, I'm pregnant. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
like, just kidding. And we're like, we know it's April Fool's.
It was like I think it was last year or the year before when Uh, I think it was Bianca Del Rio announced that RuPaul was retiring and that she was taking over as the host.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? But then again, like, I'm also somebody who doesn't really keep track of it being April Fool's Day. So I'm not looking for the tricksters.
But I was also kind of like, oh, I kind of wish that Bianca Del Rio is going to be on the show more.
Yeah, actually, maybe she needs more of a show.
Yeah.
You sent me that post where they were, it was her and Alyssa Edwards chatting.
Yeah.
And well, first of all, Alyssa Edwards looks so different.
So different.
I think a lot of work has been done.
It looks like her face was just like, you know?
Oh, 100%.
I was like, she doesn't even look the
What did I
same.
say? Snatched.
Like, a little too snatched.
But like, yeah, I think a lot of queens aren't using that tape that are pulling everything back anymore. I think they're actually going and getting the work done to like pull it back.
They
So
got that RuPaul money now.
they got that Ruru money. um, they got
Yeah.
that All Stars lips.
Mhm.
um, but yeah, when Bianca Del Rio was talking and like making fun of Alyssa Edwards on the episode that they were doing, she's like, I was like, I miss just how like funny, sarcastic, and like authentically mean she is. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So,
I miss those queens, you know?
hmm
I feel like,
like seasons 5 through 8.
yeah, maybe it's because of social media now
Yeah.
with like everyone wants to, I guess not a lot of people are performing anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like it's all kind of like we do in drag on Instagram and like for TikTok, but
Yeah.
there's they look really good, but there's just that personality and like performance is missing. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it also is like a test of our maturing
Mm,
because like when was the last time you went to a drag show because you wanted to go to a drag show? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like we don't necessarily go out looking for it. If it's there when we're there, like 100%, I'm
Hmm.
I'm game for this, but like I'm not checking a queen's socials to go and like see what they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I still like that though. I just don't have time to do it.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to make time to go and do it.
Yeah.
Like that's like I said, like if it's happening and I'm there, yeah,
Hmm.
awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
But like again, I'm not. Oh my
Like
god.
I would totally go watch a drag show if I finished work early.
Yeah.
Like I would totally go do that. But I finished work too late.
Yeah.
That by the time I do, the bars are closed.
True.
But like if I ended at 10 and I was like, "Oh, there's a 10:30 show," or, yeah, I
Mm.
totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, and I feel like if I was in your shoes as well, like if I was actually like in the neighborhood,
Hmm.
I would probably do the same.
Yeah.
This is totally off topic, but like speaking of like going out and like doing things,
Yeah.
I went for lunch with a coworker the other day, and we went to a restaurant in like downtown Toronto, and it's a very nice restaurant. Like it looks very nice, but it
Mm.
doesn't look like it's a classy joint by any. I'm not gonna say names because I'm gonna kind of slam them here, but um for lunch, she got the special, and then I got a meal off the menu. They were similar in price, like maybe $1 or $2 difference.
Yeah.
We each got a 5-ounce glass of wine. Our bill was $105.
Oof.
I was like, there is no way that I feel like this was justified.
I know. That's how I feel when I go to like any kind of Mexican restaurant. I love Mexican food.
Hmm
Like margaritas, tacos, like that I love it all, but it's so expensive.
Really? Because I've gone to two or three now. I think the one that I think I know which one you're
Hmm.
talking about, but there's a couple that are on like the west side of Toronto,
Hmm.
and they're like dirt cheap.
Yeah, I guess it kind of depends, but at least the ones that are,
I think it's those ones that have made it into like the mainstream
yeah,
cool culture.
yeah,
Like,
I think that's it. Yeah,
yeah, because if you go to like an actual Mexican
yeah,
restaurant, you know,
oh yeah, yeah, I agree.
yeah,
Honestly, it's alcohol. Alcohol is so expensive now.
it's nuts. And we're getting that new tax in Ontario.
Well, new tax.
There's a new alcohol tax, or
Ugh,
alcohol tax is like going up.
well, that's annoying.
Yeah. How am I supposed to have fun? No, I'm just joking.
What the heck? No, it's just things are so expensive, and it's hard because I guess they're trying to I mean, everything is expensive. Romaine lettuce. We took romaine lettuce off of our menu because we couldn't afford it anymore. We
No
got kale
way.
instead.
Oh, wow.
Kale is cheaper than romaine,
Remember when kale used to be like the expensive one?
right?
Remember when celery was nuts?
Yeah, I mean, it still kind of is,
Is
but
it?
yeah,
Hmm. I guess I
just
just don't make celery anymore.
insane. So they're companies are trying to like counteract a $9 head of romaine lettuce, and
That's insane.
yeah,
Hmm.
crazy.
Well, with all that bitterness, do you want to get into our topic of the day?
Yes.
So today's episode, we want to talk about, because last week we did pet peeves, things that just like
Yeah.
really rub us the wrong way for
Yeah.
no reason at all. But this week I want to talk about like just the best things that just like happen,
Hmm.
like it's not scheduled. It's just like things in your everyday life that like you're so satisfied when it happens, and you can never really plan for it. You
Yeah.
just have to enjoy it when it happens.
True.
Does anything come to mind to you when you first think of it?
Okay, well, this is like everyone knows that this is something that I like because I talk about it all the time. I love getting the last thing of everything,
Mm,
you know? And picture this, okay? I'm gonna set the
it,
stage for you here,
yeah.
okay?
Close your eyes.
You're like, "Ugh, I really need craft dinner, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Well,
We all
you
need
just need
craft
craft
dinner.
dinner.
Yeah.
And you go into the grocery store and you're walking down the aisle and you get to the part and there's one left. And you're
Oof.
like, it was meant to be. This was meant to be for me. So then you buy it. Or another thing is like, I need a new candle. Okay.
Mm.
And you're like, I don't know which candle to get. And then there's one left. That is like an indication to me that that's like the best one. And then I just got the last best one, you know?
I would love it if somebody would just dissect your brain for that.
If someone like came in and took that last one, I'd be so mad.
Just start yelling, freaking out.
No, to me, I just look at it as a sign of like I was meant to buy that one. You know?
Mm. Oh yeah, like a universe is speaking to you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
love it.
I get it. Um, I like one thing that I really love when it happens, and like it's just weirdly satisfying, is like if you're buying something or if you're like weighing something on like a grams, like you know what I mean?
Mm,
When the number rounds to like a solid like 29
yeah,
or like that kind of thing, it's just like, oh, that's so good. Like
yeah.
it just exudes proper. You know what I mean? Like, ooh.
It's like when a bill uh, like is like 50 straight. Oh my god,
Mhm.
so nice.
Or like if you have a favorite number, like my phone number growing up was 3147. And so if I'm buying something and it comes up to $31.47, I'm just like, oh, buying a lottery ticket.
Yeah,
Like it feels like such a lucky moment. Like
yeah.
everyone shut up. This just happened. Like I have to yeah, like I'm going to get excited about it.
Do you ever notice yourself like looking at um like your phone or the time and it's like 11:11 or something that's like s- um a recurring time or number that you see like often?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Like what? Is it 11:11 or is it
No, it's usually like 12:36.
mm,
Like it's a weird
interesting?
one. Yeah. But it's also really strange too because like have you ever woken up in the morning before your alarm and yada yada yada, but like you look at the clock and you're like 5:17.
Okay.
And then you go back to sleep, whatever. And then the next morning and you wake up and you do your thing and someone asks you like, "Oh, how was your morning?" And you're like, "Good, but I didn't really have a good sleep. Like I woke up at 5:17." And you just remember 5:17. Like
Yeah,
that
not like 5
specific.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just remember that number for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I have like a weird like yeah, 12:36 is like a really weird one that I always see.
Strange.
What about you? Is it like
36.
the 11:11?
I've noticed 11:11 more because my sister, so when Chico died, our family dog, he died at 11:11, so she just like has always had that in her head.
Mhm.
And now I kind of notice it.
Mhm.
I don't think much of it, but I do notice it more.
Yeah.
But I also don't like to think about it because
It's
it's
it's a sad thing.
well, it's a sad thing, but it's also so common. Like everyone likes 11:11.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's
I like
also
to be
Remembrance
different and
Day.
unique, you know.
Um,
Speaking of different and unique, Starbucks.
Starbucks.
No, okay, you know what I love about this is such a consumer white girl thing of me to say.
Yeah,
Um,
we're here for it.
Starbucks gift cards. Okay, you know when they come out with like the special edition little like,
Seasons.
oh, I love those.
Yeah,
They're so cute.
especially when they're like weirdly shaped.
Yeah, like now they have bunnies
I
for Easter. And they come out with like 4 different colors and they're different like little designs, but they're all bunnies. How
like when they're
cute,
Christmas trees at Christmas time.
right?
Yeah.
They're really killing it in terms of Christmas wrapping and like gift wrapping. You can hang them off the,
Yeah.
you know? How
Hanging on a
smart.
tree.
So smart.
Yeah.
I like them. Sometimes I just take them because they're cute.
I know. And sometimes I take them for you so that you can give them to your mom.
My mom, because my mom, that's what she loves adding to like cards and stuff for any holiday. Like she got us bunnies for Easter this year.
Aw.
What color do you want, Michaela? Whichever one, mom.
Pick your favorite. Um, yeah.
Cute.
On the topic of like time, I like something that's like oddly satisfying is like when somebody says, like, say if you're walking, okay,
Hmm.
and your significant other goes, "Oh, what time is it?" And you're like, um, it's like 4:30. And you look at your watch and it
4:30.
4:30. And you're like, "Oh, I did that." Like I changed time to what I wanted it to be. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Love it.
Just, I feel like Raven from That's So Raven. I'm just like, oh, yeah,
Do you ever do you believe in law of attraction?
yeah, 100%. That's how I strongly believe that everything that you and I, and also myself in general, that I've always believed that everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there. This is gonna happen. Like it's just there's no sense in like dwelling on a negative side of things.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
agree.
but yeah, like
I think yeah, I've always been someone that looks more on the positive side though, and if something doesn't work out, I don't like to dwell on it. I like to think of it as like there's a reason this didn't work out. There's something better.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Um, but I've always been like that. I don't know, like with a position or like a job,
Hmm.
right? Um, right now I'm starting to like get into the idea of like maybe I want to like move into another type of role or like another like a different type of responsibility
Right.
in my position. And I was just thinking about it like randomly the other day. And this morning, it's Friday. We're recording this on Friday. I got an email from somebody that was like, "Hey, just want to introduce you to this person. She's the manager of comms with so and so, and I think you two would really hit it off." I was like,
Mm.
"Oh, that's strange." Like, I know that everyone knows that I went to school for public relations and like the communications stuff like that,
Yeah.
but it was somebody who knew that I worked with socials and stuff like that so far, and that I was now thinking about coming back from this charitable rotation and going into like evolving further into like what I want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, that's so strange because I was just thinking about making a switch.
Mm.
And that's the universe, baby.
Yeah.
Universe is
Look,
like,
the universe is like, this is where I was trying to freaking pull you, and now you finally got it.
mm-hmm.
Now I can set you back on your path.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think that's cool. Gotta play into law of attraction more, you know?
Yes, I think everybody needs to play into law of attraction. Like there's like you can do so much if you just believe that you can do it,
Yeah.
right?
And just changing your mindset too, you know? Like
Hmm.
it's so easy. Weight loss, for example. Like it's so easy to be like, oh, I hate the way they look. I'm never gonna lose weight. And like those negative thoughts are constantly like we're our society and our lives in general just filled with so much negativity
Oh,
with
daily
everything
we're
around
just
us that just
bombarded
being
with
like, you
it.
know what, you're doing great.
Yeah.
I had great healthy meals today. You know, like
Hmm.
just changing the way that you think about things is just gonna change the way you go about your day.
I think as a whole, like if you, because if you come home at the end of the day and somebody says like, "Oh, how was your day?" and you're gonna say to yourself like, "Well, I had a meeting with so and so, and I really don't like doing that, and like I had this going on, and that was annoying." But like if you think about like the good side, like, "Oh, actually, when I got to the office, it was like really quiet, so it felt like it was nice being there." Or like, "Oh, for lunch, I had like the best thing." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um the subway didn't suck. Like, everything was on
Yeah.
time. Like usually to take transit to work for some people it take like an hour, but like if transit's really good, it could take like 35 minutes. You know what I mean? So like
Mhm.
those little things that'll trigger the positive, like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Very true.
I sometimes worry that like all I'm doing is complaining.
I mean, yeah, I get like that too.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever heard you just complain.
Like I feel like lately.
I mean,
But I think that has to do with like the winter and the weather. Like I definitely notice a change in myself when the weather starts getting nice because I want to get up early and like, you know,
do things.
put on a fresh face of makeup and like go out and do my things, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That was I guess like throughout the day just like having like your list of your favorite things, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
things that I just love doing. My all-time favorite thing to do in the morning, like if I can get myself up to do it. I don't know why waking up in the morning is so difficult for me, but if I get into the routine and I'm like able to wake up at, between 6 and 7 o'clock, I can wake up, go for a walk and get coffee,
Hmm.
and then come back and be able to be home before 8:30 so that I have a half hour to like actually prepare myself for the workday. There's nothing better than like just having that morning of like private things that I did for myself.
Yeah.
Like they're just yeah.
I think one of my favorite things to do in the summer is like I think ideally what I would like to do is like get up early and go to the gym for like half an hour, whatever I want to do,
Hmm.
and then walk back and like bring a book and sit by the water.
Oh
I
yeah.
love getting up and just like taking a coffee and going sit down there for
And
a little
people
bit.
who are just up and moving around in the morning, like not necessarily at the gym, because a lot of people that are going to the gym are like doing it before they go to work. But people who are up in the morning, sitting by the water or like going for a walk type of
Mhm.
thing, they're just a different vibe. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they're kind of on the same level of like, I'm doing what I love and nothing can ruin this. And you just see it in
Yeah.
like everyone's faces.
Yeah.
There's no, what's, um, furrowed brow.
Yeah.
Is that a
Yeah.
word, right?
Yeah. Yep.
There's no like scowls.
Hmm.
Like they're just like having a good old time. Oh,
Yeah, I agree.
animals in the morning, like pets in the
Yeah.
morning.
I
My
mean, I
favorite.
got none. But
Uh,
but yes, like yeah, I know what you mean though.
like going for a walk and seeing people taking their dogs for a walk.
Yeah.
Like that dog is having the best time of their life.
Yeah.
There's like my owner is doing everything. You're
Yeah.
just like
My
yes.
favorite was like Chico in the morning because he hated the mornings.
Mhm.
He never wanted to get up. But if you like kind of woke him up and like rubbed his belly, like he'd do his stretches and his tail would be going and it's just like, "Come on, let's get up." And then he'd get so excited.
Wiley's my favorite for that. When if Fernando has to wake up in the morning and like go to the office, or if he has a meeting first thing, he needs to like be prepared type of thing.
Yeah.
He'll get up and Wiley will stay in bed with me, and you can tell he's kind of like looking at me like, "Are you getting up too?" No? Okay, cool. And then he'll just go back to sleep.
Aw.
But then when I do wake up, he'll do this like this stretch where um both of his paws will like come out really, really fast and kind of just like, okay, let's go. Like
Aw.
I'm ready. And yeah,
When we used to go to my parents' place, because my mom and dad are up like super early, like
butt
5 in the
crack of
morning. Yeah.
dawn.
Like,
Yeah.
so when Chico would sleep in the bed with us, we would be in the basement and my parents would be on the main floor. So he'd hear them like going about their day. So
Hmm.
he'd like start to kind of get annoying. My mom would come down and like take him out of the room, and she'd go like take him to the bathroom and like give him his breakfast and stuff. And then after that was all done, he'd be like kind of crying at the bottom of the stairs. So my mom would be like, he wants to go back to bed. So he'd come back to bed and he'd like claw at the door and he'd come back to bed with us for like 2 or 3 hours. He's
Wow.
like, I got my things done now. I can go back with
Yeah.
my friends.
Checklist
Yeah.
complete.
And then he'd sleep with us until we got up. Yeah.
That's so funny. Um, my favorite too with Wiley is when I'm sitting at my desk working, and like the place that I work in the apartment, it's the den, and I have like an L-shaped desk that I face into the apartment, so it's like um so I'm not facing a wall pretty much is what's happening. And I have like dim lights and it's very dark and I have like a sheer black curtain that kind of separates the kitchen from the den or from the office. And when I'm working and I'm wearing my headphones that are connected to the microphone that I'm talking to on right now, I can kind of hear like ambient noises.
Yeah.
Um, and when I'm sitting at the desk working and I can like hear quiet little Wiley snores, like just like
Yeah.
it's so cute and it's like this presence that I'm just really comfortable with.
Yeah.
And
So
it's like on a
cute.
different level than a cat purr.
Yeah.
Like I
It's like,
enjoy,
yeah.
yeah,
It's old man
yes,
dog breathing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's so cute.
I know. It's kind of crazy how much like an animal changes your morning, you know? I guess it's
Hmm.
the same kind of with kids too if they're well behaved. But like
Or if they're
having
yours.
like someone that's so excited to be up and like see you in the morning and get the thing,
Yeah.
kind of motivates you just to get up and start your day.
Oh, even
Yeah.
coming home after a long day at work and your animal, whatever it is, has that like they're acknowledging your existence. To me, that says like that they've missed you or that they're excited to see you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like whenever I walk in, especially when I was working at the bar and I would come home late at night and Jack would come and greet me at the door and he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, hello, handsome. How was your day?" And
You've been gone for so
he'd
long.
follow you around and he'd go to bed with you and he wouldn't stay in bed very long. He'd just kind of like tuck you in and then he's like, "Okay, I'm leaving. Bye."
Or if you're like, "Hey, Chico," he's like, looks at you. Do you want to go for you see his little donut tail. So his tail would start to go. Do you want to go to the crayon? Do you want to go to the pool? Do you want to go in the car? And he'd like freak out the second he heard that. He's waiting for the word. He's like, come on, say it. I do want to go in the car.
I remember when you used to tell me about how in the morning you would wake Chico up and you would tell him like what your plan for the day is. So you'd be like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
we're gonna wake up and we're gonna make breakfast. And then after we're having done having breakfast, I'm gonna take you outside and we're gonna do this. And we're gonna have a whole thing. And his
Oh,
eyebrows
you
are
could
just
see
going and like he's
he
thinking about
want to
it.
take it all in. He's like,
Oh yeah.
okay.
Oh
And going up and telling him secrets. Do you ever do that?
no.
You go up and you just go up to the ear and be like, okay, so we're gonna make dinner, and then I was thinking we could have dessert, and I know you like greenies, and we're gonna have greenies for dessert. And then he just kind of like,
Okay.
okay, I like that.
Head cocks to the left. He's like, it's on the list of things to do now.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
so cute.
Oh, yeah. Pets.
Yeah.
it sometimes makes me think like, what is my life gonna be like when my pets are no longer around? Because
I know, yeah.
I've gone through the loss of two cats
Mhm.
at the time of having three at the same time, right? So like I wasn't going and getting another one and going and getting another one. It was just like one loss, and now I have one cat, and but now I also have uh like Fernando's dog, right?
Yeah.
Like he's very much just like I would say like he's very much just as much mine as it is his
Yeah.
because like I just love this dog.
Mm.
Like he's mine, you know?
Yeah.
And I I can't imagine what life is going to be like when they're no longer around because I I don't want to replace them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you
Like
want more animals after?
maybe one day in the future,
Yeah.
but um I don't think anytime soon after losing them.
Mhm.
I think that's just a little bit um yeah, like I think I need like time in between
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, you don't realize like little things, like times where they would be with you. Like so my girlfriend just lost her cat, and she's like, I remember like I would always have baths because I love taking baths. And Darwin would always come and sit beside the bathtub with
Mhm.
me. And I wouldn't even notice, but I was like telling him things, like just having a conversation.
Yeah.
And she's like, I miss when you would go into the bathroom and like you'd talk to him. Cause she's like, I could hear you from like the other room, just like chatting about your day. He's just like staring at you. I'm like, yeah, I guess you do miss like little things like that because you don't even notice you're doing it.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, it's lonely having a bath. There's no one there. Like, Bianca, come here. Come talk to me.
My favorite was I used to have a cat named Hank, and when I would go into the shower, he would sit in between the shower curtains, like
Oh,
on
and
that
the
side.
main shower curtain. Yeah.
Yeah, and he would just talk.
Oh,
Like he would meow so loud and like what? Like what do you need? And there was a couple times when he first started doing it that I would actually like get out of the shower and be like, "What's going on? Like what? Like do you need food? Do you need this?" But no, he just was there keeping an eye on
he's
you.
like, no, I'm telling you about my day.
Yeah.
God.
Come on. You don't
I
even
loved Hank.
listen.
He was so cute.
Yeah. And like his lips were like so pink
Yeah.
and his fur was like the white was like pure white. It
Hmm.
was yeah. He was such a good cat.
Yeah. Oh,
Um
that's crazy.
yeah. Oh, this went from our favorite things to just sad.
I mean, hey, animals are part of our favorite things. Unfortunately,
100%.
fortunately, loss is just a part of that, which really sucks because they should live forever, you know?
Mm-hmm. 100%. Um, okay, let's go back to the favorite things.
Anyways, hugs.
Anyways. Um,
um,
do you like is there something that you do like on a daily basis that's like tedious? Like I would say I would assume homework or like that kind of thing.
yeah.
Um like I know like when I was doing like homework or even like things for work, it's so satisfying to be able to do something once and it's good. You're just like,
Mhm.
"Oh, actually, this
Yeah.
is fine. We can use this."
Yeah.
Done. And it's like it rarely ever happens. Everything needs an edit.
Yeah.
When you catch people on that one day where they're just like a little bit more lenient than normal and they're like, "Yeah, we can use this. Thank you." And they're just done. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in like a lot of design classes and stuff right now, and I'm pretty good at um like logos.
Mm,
Like I'm usually pretty good with like, you know, setting a good logo,
yeah,
impressing people.
yeah.
But that's kind of it. The rest of it
I
needs
mean, you were the one who came
needs a
up with
lot.
the "Okay, Hear Me Out" logo.
Yeah.
That was you.
Yeah.
Um, I love it when I send something like to you, like to like approve for socials for the podcast,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
Love it.
"Love
Go
it.
for
Good
it.
job."
Yeah.
Like, um, I guess like I guess the what is it called when somebody like approves of something of you that you've done? Like
Like, uh,
what's the word? Um
satisfaction, but like, yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're trying to say.
yeah, like when somebody acknowledges that you've done something correctly, right?
Yeah.
Um
Seal of approval kind of thing.
yeah, I want to say gratitude, but that's not it.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, like when somebody gives me like that like good job, pat on the back for anything really. Like I like just being acknowledged as something good happened. And I think that comes from just like growing up in modern day society where there's always been that negative person in everyone's life that's just always giving you critiques and like always trying to like tell you that you haven't done something properly and
Yeah.
that you know what I mean? So when you do have those moments of like somebody telling you, good job, you did this, like that kind of thing, it's just so relieving and
Yeah.
like, ugh, thank God.
Do you know like when you've done a good job? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you ever do something and you're like, oh, so good?
No, but you want to know, like, and I think this is just like a Michael Jenkins thing, and
Yeah.
like maybe somebody who's listening to, but like if I'm writing something, okay, like an essay or blog or like whatever, social media post, if I'm writing something and I'm like, oh, that's a good point. This is like really well written. I'm doing such a good job. You know what? I bet you when I hand this in, they're going to be like, this was such a good, clear point, and I'm going to use it as an example for the rest of the class. Like I get into this mindset where I'm just like, someone's going to love this.
Someone's gonna.
I'm a genius.
Yeah.
And then I go through it and I'm just like, oh, you dumb. You missed so many words.
Yeah, that's how I am with essays. I am not an essay person. Not at all. Give me a test.
I get nervous when I meet essay people. Like,
Yeah, no. I just and all the time it's like you should work on your essay structure. I'm like, yeah, that's because I just hate essays. I don't think I know how to properly write an essay. You know, like I do well on them,
mhm.
but my thought process and just general template of going about an essay is chaos. Like,
Yeah, and there's also something to be said about like getting somebody else to read it and like give you feedback.
yeah,
I hate when people look at what I'm working on before it's finished.
yeah,
Like like I get so self-conscious about like they're talking right now about going back to office, right?
yeah,
And as somebody who works primarily in social media and content creation and like that kind of thing, have it like the thought of somebody walking past my desk and looking at my computer screen at something that I'm making,
mm,
just like it just shatters me inside. I'm like, I can't, I don't want them looking at it. Like it's so awkward. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And
yeah. I feel that.
I don't know how to get around that, you know?
You just have to be like confident in your choices, which is also just hard to do in general.
Right? Yeah. You just created more problems with that.
Hmm.
Thanks, Michaela.
Sorry about that.
But like even like with Fernando, like I know Fernando would never judge me to the point of like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Like, ugh, gross. But like even showing him an idea that I'm working towards,
Yeah.
like with the book that I'm working on writing,
Hmm.
right? Like I don't want him reading it until it's like at least within its first round of edits and
Yeah.
like illustrations to go with it, that kind of thing. Like um because I don't think that the position that it's in right now would be the um would give it the overall image of what it's going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I think it kind of comes down to like we've talked about this before, like work I guess in theater and like film and stuff. Um interacting with people who have that like open mind. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, I'm going to show you this draft. I know you know that it's not done. It's not done. There's like, in just kind of having that imagination to like think of what it could look like.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't have that, you know?
Yeah, I'm not saying that Fernando
Oh,
doesn't
no,
have
I'm not
that.
saying
Yeah,
Fernando. I'm
okay.
just saying in general, like people
Yeah,
who aren't creative versus people who are. Like, there's like, no, this isn't the end product. I want you to like look at it and know that there's work.
envision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you envision?
'Cause-
No? Okay.
yeah. And I think that's what like going to the office and having somebody look over my shoulder and see something that's
Yeah.
just like completely trash and like having an opinion of it. I'm just like, yeah, but a lot of people who work in like corporate office don't have that like mentality
Yeah.
to be able to envision like what a creative vision has, right? And that's where a lot of the things with working on social media makes me nervous is that a lot of the times it's just the one person who is managing a social account, right? Which
Mhm.
means the content creation falls on one person and maybe a design team that works on like digital imagery. But like pretty much it's all one person from my experience. That it's like it's so difficult to have these ideas, get them out, and then send them for approval from other people because the people who are going to be judging it are like senior management or at least just upper management to you. And they don't care how much time you put into it, how much time it's going to take for you to move forward from the critique that you just received. They just want to see it better than what it is,
Yeah.
bar none. Like that's it.
Mhm.
And that's what makes me so like, ooh, gives me the ick, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
But getting someone to tell you good job. Oh, raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
Yeah.
um, yeah.
Hmm.
Have you ever had like have you ever registered in your brain that you're having a new thought? Like, oh, I've never thought about that before. And it could just be like a mundane thing, um like when you first began to understand how a microwave works and you're like, "Oh, um it's using the liquid inside of it to like actually heat things up. Like that's where the molecules are moving the most, like that kind of thing." Where
Mhm.
you're just like, "Oh, I just thought that was just like heat blowing at it. I don't know." Like, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think all the time, especially when it comes to like school.
Mm,
You know, when things just
yeah,
don't make any sense, and then you're like, oh, I get it.
yeah. That was like,
I understand.
to piggyback off of what you just said
Yeah.
with theory, because I
Mhm.
was always like, why am I learning about somebody's idea in 1904 that
Mhm.
isn't relevant to now? Like,
Yeah.
we're not using that ideology anymore because we've moved so far in with this. But um, I think it was in my third year, like after theory courses were in, and I had an instructor. I think it was Andrea Tavchar, and we were talking about theory and like why it's relevant. And I was like, honestly, I just have a really hard time with like understanding why theory is being taught as like a relevant topic. And she's like, well, if you think about it this way, like your career is going to be based around public relations or communications or marketing or like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But to understand where we are right now, it probably would really help you to understand what we used to do and why we've moved away from it. Kind of like when people start drawing, but in order to start drawing beautiful landscapes, you first have to understand shapes, right?
Mhm.
If you ask an artist to look at this painting, they might see just circles, triangles, and squares first because they need to understand how it's going to be built out, right?
Yeah.
And that's how like a lot of it happens. And I was like, you know what? If I could go back and take all of my theory courses now based off of what you just told me, I
Yeah.
feel like I could have done so much better.
I agree. I think like my program had a lot of theory in the beginning. I mean,
Mm,
we still do. And I don't love it. I don't love theory. But
yeah.
yeah, I think if it was like combined with practical a little bit more, I don't know. There needs to be like a change in how it's presented, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, or like even explained a little further
Yeah.
as to why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Um, or like while you're doing something, maybe draw parallels to the theory that you're being taught, right?
Yeah.
Like this was the original theory, but this is what we're going to be doing today. And once you've finished doing what you're doing, then I will show you why. Like here's the line down the center that like connects them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's the thread that puts the blanket together.
Hmm. Like I think marketing is kind of cool for that. Like I'm doing an intro marketing class right now.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like there's a lot of like random math and like I feel like when am I gonna use half this stuff? But then I was thinking about like a brand yesterday and I was like, oh, you know what? A lot of this stuff can be used for this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
And that was
hmm,
similar because I was taking stats in second year and like I'm like, I don't like I understand that statistics is important when it comes to marketing or like brand, like all of it, right?
yeah.
But I don't know where and how I'm going to be using it because like I'm not good at it.
Hmm.
But I know that if somebody came into a room, this is even prior to a stats class. I know that if somebody came into a room and started talking to me about statistics within the brand that I'm working at
Yeah.
or like that kind of thing, if they just started talking about the statistics, it it's just kind of a common sense that it's like your target audience is ages between 16 and 25 years old, right?
Hmm.
And within that 16 to 25 years old, um 47% are female. So that means that we're going to be looking at the 53% male demographic because we think that there's more room for them to purchase more, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
um, like that stuff makes sense to me. But when you're writing it down and putting it on paper and you're putting in like the formulas and like that kind of thing, like, ugh, you lost me. I'm sorry. Like, just
Yeah.
put it in words, baby.
Hmm. Even just the idea of like, I've always wanted to create a brand because I'd love to just work for myself.
Same.
And being like, well, you just come up with an idea and you sell it. Like it seems so simple when you're thinking about it, and you're like, no, you have to like do a lot more stuff, obviously. But like even the process of like going into what your idea is gonna be and like seeing what the market's like,
Hmm.
like things that yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not as simple.
There's a lot of times too when it's like it's easier to move backwards than forwards on an idea.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so this is the product that I want to use. Okay, let's move backwards on it now. Who is it for? Okay, well, it's for this person. Like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, that's kind of like when you're making a puzzle.
Yeah.
You don't start building a puzzle with the center. You start with a corner.
Hmm.
Stupid. You know? You're like, it's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Same thing with a Rubik's Cube. Did you know that if you have the bottom four colors all one, all you have to do is rotate the ones around it? Like we'll say like on the blue side, if you have four blue squares,
Okay.
hold those in the same place
Yeah.
and then rotate once and then once the other way clockwise. And if you just continue doing it, you'll solve the Rubik's Cube.
Hmm.
Lickety split.
Yeah. See, I don't really understand Rubik's cubes.
Do you know what they are?
Yeah, I know what they are.
Okay. Good job.
But like
You did it.
I don't think I will ever solve one in my lifetime.
But if you do what I just said, you will.
Okay. But how then do you get four of them all together?
Just play with it.
Oh, okay.
Just,
Okay, got
yeah.
it.
I don't
Okay.
know the
I'll try
calculations.
it. I'll try that, Michael Jenkins.
You'll get there. And I promise that you out there will get there as well. Do you have any other favorites? Any things that just tickle your fancy? Think think deep. Like just the ooh, putting on brand new socks.
Yes, brand new socks and brand new underwear.
Brand new underwear. I mean,
Brand new
brand new
underwear is
underwear.
nice too.
I wash them. Brand new socks I don't wash because they come in a plastic bag.
Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. I guess so.
Um,
Guess you're right.
but like there's just something about the fresh sock.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, it just has that crisp feel to it, you know? Yeah.
I heard there was a celebrity that only wore new socks.
Okay, well, that's just wasteful.
Yes. I think they donated, but yeah,
Also, you're rich. I feel like you could like come up with some way to make them feel like fresh socks every time, you know?
that's true. Yeah, maybe
Uh,
maybe iron them.
yeah. Hire someone to iron your socks.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if I would ever iron myself, but yeah, I don't even think we have an iron.
No, we definitely don't.
Huh.
I was gonna buy a steamer one day.
Oh, that'd be
My
smart.
friend didn't. So,
I want a hand mixer.
mm, yeah.
I know we have the standing mixer,
Yeah.
like the KitchenAid, but like a hand mixer.
Hmm.
I gotta whip that butter.
Yeah.
Whipping your butter for cookies,
Mm.
that's the trick. Just so you know.
Can you just buy whipped butter?
Maybe,
Mm.
but I don't know. I don't
I'm
know.
sure you can.
Can you?
Yeah. Probably just comes in the container versus the
I just keep thinking of
stick.
Cool Whip.
Yeah,
Cool
like
Whip.
something like that. If not, well, there's our brand idea, whipped butter.
Whipped
No, there
butter.
definitely is. Like,
Oh,
when you get butter at a restaurant and it's like comes in the little thing, that's whipped butter.
like, but I'm thinking like when it's whipped and it's like kind of like airy,
Fluffy,
right?
yeah.
So that it, like, I'm gonna look it up. Where to buy
This is probably like a
whipped
very
butter?
common thing. And everyone's like, "Excuse me. It's already a thing, God."
Um, oh, it is. Like, Earth's Own has a dairy
Whipped.
free
Whipped butter?
whipped
Let's
butter.
see. Earth's Own is good.
Yeah. But again, like baking cookies, you whip that butter with a hand mixer and then you start adding everything in.
Mm.
Um, your cookies will be so fluffy,
Hmm.
so good. I did it because when I went up to the cottage last summer, I think last summer, maybe the summer before, and I was just gonna make cookies up there because like, why not?
Yeah.
I think I made like 8 dozen because like if you're gonna make cookies, make them all. Um, and they didn't have a like a KitchenAid, right?
Yeah.
But they had a hand mixer, and I was like, oh, that'll work. That'd be fine. So I used it, and I whipped my butter first, not thinking about what I was doing. Then, when the cookies came out of the oven, they were amazing.
Huh.
Yeah, they also get to be a little bit bigger too because like they're um like the air's inside of it, so it fluffs, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you leave your cookies when you put them on the tin, like if you don't make like a ball, like a perfect ball,
Yeah.
if you let them be kind of messy, that butter that's within those like top pieces, it kind of crystallizes, and so and the sugar crystallizes with it. And so when they cool and everything, that's when you get like that hard outside and really soft inside.
Oh.
Yeah, tips for the baker.
Tips for the baker.
Yeah, highly recommend.
Huh. Interesting.
But that's all I have. That's all I got for you.
I don't make
Um,
cookies enough.
I've been meaning to make it for so long now.
Yeah. Do you still have some? Did you eat them all?
What,
The
cookies?
cookie
What? What
cookies.
cookies?
There was a container of cookies.
Oh, yeah, we ordered
Oh, you
cookie
ordered
dough.
them.
Yeah,
Oh.
we ordered cookie dough from a place,
Oh.
and we were just gonna eat the cookie dough. Um, and then it wasn't the best cookie dough to eat, so
Mm.
we just decided to make cookies.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I've been meaning to like actually
Yeah.
make like
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought you made cookies at home.
yeah.
Hmm.
I want like some. I want to make like oatmeal chocolate chip. I feel like
Yeah.
that would just be a good opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oatmeal chocolate chip. Love it. I'll eat them.
Perfect.
A last thing I like is I feel like this is just anyone, but like getting fresh makeup and being
Ooh,
able to open it and using like nice fresh new makeup, you know?
yeah. Like making the first kind of line in
Mm-hmm.
whatever you're using.
The tube is all nice and clean.
Oh yeah.
You don't need to throw well, I don't know if you
I
do,
understand it with
but
like
like
toothpaste. So
your makeup bag is just like there's foundation and lipstick on your like
everything.
mascara tube,
Hmm.
everything just clumps together at one point. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the crisp newness.
Yeah. The crisp newness.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing. This is kind of like when you go in and you get the last thing. When you go in and they actually have your color. Like
Oh,
it's like the last color, the last one, and it's your color. It's like, oh yes.
well, yeah, because colors are so specific and there's so many,
Yeah.
right?
And then it's the worst going in and being like, oh, I have it. Guess I'm just not wearing makeup the next 3 days. You know?
I mean, that's fine. You don't need makeup.
Thanks, but like,
But I want it.
but I wanna.
Um, just to like go off of what you just said,
Yeah.
I love getting new electronics and breaking the plastic off of it or
Mhm.
taking a screen protector off of something.
Yeah.
Oof, that's good.
Hmm.
Especially when it's like that kind of rubbery plastic that sits on like a lens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can kind of hear the static that's come like the static electricity that's holding it to that lens. Ooh. Ooh.
Okay. You know how there's always that time when you buy a new electronic and you're like so careful with it?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you don't even think about it. You're just not careful with it anymore.
Yeah.
Like when does the switch happen?
Yeah, like your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so careful with where you're putting your
And then
phone.
eventually you're just dropping it all the time,
Hmm.
you know?
I'm gonna say it's probably 8 days. Eight
Yeah.
days of owning it, and then
I
it's
feel
just
like it's like with a MacBook too. You're like, oh, I gotta be so careful with it. Sorry, I need a case for this. I need to put it in a case. And then you just don't use the case anymore. And you're like, whatever.
I have treated my MacBook the same since I got it.
Hmm.
It like sits where it is.
Yeah.
If I want to work on the couch, I'll take it to the couch with me. But yeah, generally try not to like stack anything on top of it or
Yeah. I mean, I'm
yeah,
not like dumb when it comes to that, but like
throw it
when I
into the
first started
closet.
school, I would put like a case, like a soft case around my computer and then
Mhm.
put it in my backpack. And now I'm just kind of sometimes like, no, it's just going in my backpack, you know?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I still throw my laptop into my backpack in its own pocket,
Yeah. He has his
right?
own pocket. Yeah.
Like there's nothing with it because there's nothing worse than like that brushed steel look that like
Like
MacBooks
scratch
have
on
like
it.
that
Yeah.
that matted finish to it, but if you
Yeah.
get a scratch on it, you're just like, "Oh, man,
Yeah.
I'm not careful with my phone whatsoever anymore."
Yeah, but you never get scratches on your phone, but I wonder if it's just because I put mine in like a purse and there's things in the purse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because like if it's on me, it's in my pocket
Yeah. I
or
actually
it's
don't have any scratches on. Oh, I have one.
mine. I have a weird thing with my phone where like do you see the center how there's like that oily
Yeah.
finish on there?
Yeah.
And
Well,
I'll
they all have
clean
it.
it. I'll use like an oil remover or like a lens cleaner and like nothing takes this stuff off. It's
Weird.
always I know. And I think it's where like most of my tapping and typing is,
Interesting.
where I'm just like embedding my oil into this piece of computer, you know?
Do you use any like specific hand cream or something that like is causing a buildup?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I rarely ever moisturize,
Hmm.
which is terrible. Um my VR headset, I bought a new like face cover for it because I wanted something that would go over my nose to block the light that was coming in.
Yeah.
But this one has like kind of like a leather finish. It's plastic, but it's like that pleather. Um, but it's causing me to break out
Aw.
on my like everywhere. But I'm also not completely convinced that it's not stress because when I'm stressed,
Oh, 100%.
I break
Stress
out.
pimples. Yeah, for sure.
And, like they're deep. Like
Yeah.
don't touch them. I put on a detoxifying clay mask last night. Um, and when I washed it off, I was like, my face feels so clean. Like
Mm.
it's just like it felt lighter,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Killing it.
that's all I gotta say about that.
I have gone from using like drying um face products, like because I always just assumed I had oily skin,
Yeah.
to now I'm using all hydrating.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's like a big difference.
Oh yeah. My face
Polar
isn't dry
opposite.
anymore.
Huh. Strange.
Yeah.
I'll use an
Or like
antibacterial
super
soap.
oily. You know when your face is dry but oily?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a dry lip right now, so we've been putting Burt's Bees on that. Um, but I find that, like, because I'll use an antibacterial soap, which like just wipes all of the oil off of you. Like it's like when you put it on your skin and then like water like beads, like it's that
Yeah.
kind of a clean. But then when I get out of the shower, I'll put on a moisturizer, right? Um, I haven't really been going outside lately, and if I do, it's like for a run, so I'm just sweating, so there's no sense in putting it on.
Yeah.
Um, I'll use a sunblock more than anything, but yeah, I've noticed that like my face is just always oily
Hmm.
when I'm sitting at home and like working, and then all of a sudden I'll like my forehead, the T zone pretty much is where it's like the most oily.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I feel so dirty.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hmm.
What a strange segue.
Strange segue. Yeah.
Um,
Anyways,
yeah.
any
We
last
gotta go.
thoughts?
We gotta go. Like
Yeah,
we have to.
we gotta go. We're getting into the weird
Yeah.
topics.
And there's not been any alcohol, so
Oh, we're
that's what you know
drinking
it's
tea.
honest.
I'm drinking peach tea.
I'm drinking
Oh,
watered
that's
down
something I
coffee.
like.
Ooh,
Tea.
a
Good
peach
tea.
tea.
Oh, good tea.
Just a tea in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um.
So
Okay.
there's a fly in my tea.
We gotta fly.
That's not a good thing. A fruit fly.
It's like a black fly.
Mm. Anyways.
Your Chardonnay.
All right. Any final thoughts, Michael Jenkins?
Yeah, if you want to follow me on Instagram or on TikTok or anywhere else, I think just Instagram and TikTok,
Yeah.
Facebook maybe too. M1C 1515.
Yeah, because you changed it.
I did that.
M1C1515. And if you want to find me, I'm at Michaela Todd, MICHALATODD. Yeah. And if you want to find, I'm trying to think of how you say it. If you want to find both of us on the same channel at the exact same time, did I do it right?
Mm-hmm.
You can find us at OK Hear Me Out, and that's OKAY Hear Me Out.
You guys send it off. Go.
All right. Well, I hope you have the best beginning of April.
Yeah,
Think of all your favorite things, be positive.
it's
Don't dwell on the
spring.
past.
It's spring.
Yeah. It's a
Find
dawn
your
of a
favorite
new
things.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're in your spring era, people.
You're in prime,
In your
everyone.
prime. Yeah. I hope you paid your rent and you got groceries.
Yeah, go grocery shopping. I love grocery shopping. Not gonna lie.
All right. Later,
All right.
everybody.
Bye.